launched a surprise strike from multiple directions simultaneously. Less than 90 seconds later, the U.S. initiated a chain of countermeasures that quickly caused the entire battlefield in the Strait of Hormuz to spiral beyond Iran's control, and that was just the beginning. The Strait of Hormuz remains a volatile choke point where global energy security is constantly under threat. For the IRGC, these narrow waters are a strategic backyard, a domain in which they can project asymmetric power. Tonight, a U.S. Navy task force led by the USS Mason, followed by the USS Arleigh Burke and USS Truxtun, is conducting a critical freedom of navigation patrol. Dozens of IRGC Mosquito boats, ultra-fast craft with low radar signatures, surge out from small coastal inlets alongside Shahed drones. These assets are deployed to saturate American radar screens, attempting to lure the destroyers into a near-shore kill zone where heavy coastal missile batteries lie in wait. High above Iranian relay drones establish a digital bridge transmitting real-time targeting data between the fast attack craft and inland command centers, allowing the swarm to adapt and redirect its assault dynamically. The response is immediate. Aboard the USS Mason, the Aegis combat system shifts to full combat posture. To manage the swarm's dense attack pattern, USS Arleigh Burke activates auxiliary tracking arrays, sharing target data with the Mason to prevent sensor saturation. At the same time, USS Truxtun prepares its long-range interceptor missiles for the first defensive engagement. The SPY-6 radar begins high-resolution sweeps across the entire horizon. The formation executes aggressive tactical maneuvers using high-speed turns to disrupt Iran's multi-directional encirclement attempt and maintain clear firing lanes. 3:52 a.m. The tactical situation in the Strait of Hormuz escalates into a high-intensity kinetic engagement as the IRGC Mosquito boat formations close the distance. The USS Mason and USS Truxtun begin coordinated defensive strikes. From their Mark 41 vertical launch systems, volleys of RIM-162 ESSM missiles are fired. These Raytheon-produced medium-range interceptors are tasked specifically with thinning out the dense waves of Shahed suicide drones before they can enter their terminal dive phase. At the same time, the Mark 45 Mod 4 127mm naval guns aboard both destroyers open sustained fire. Using fragmentation rounds, the guns tear through the leading Mosquito boat formations, creating a wall of steel intended to break the momentum of the Iranian swarm assault. Iran's response is immediate and calculated. To counter American precision, targeting the remaining Shahed drones are ordered to descend to extremely low altitude, skimming only a few meters above the waves. The maneuver is designed to overwhelm the U.S. Aegis combat system by forcing it to process hundreds of low-altitude threats amid intense sea clutter radar interference generated by wave reflections. By saturating the radar's processing capacity, Iran seeks to conceal the true attack vectors of its fast assault craft. Amid the chaos, USS Arleigh Burke assumes the critical role of a disruption support radar platform. While the primary sensors aboard the Mason and Truxtun focus on interception operations, the Arleigh Burke employs auxiliary tracking modes to maintain a second stable tactical picture. This prevents the task force from being effectively blinded by the overwhelming volume of incoming targets. Meanwhile, Iran's coastal relay network continues transmitting high-bandwidth targeting data directly to the Mosquito boat formations. This uninterrupted flow of information enables the Iranian fast attack craft to execute sudden high-speed course changes, successfully evading American target locks while drawing the destroyers deeper into the near-shore kill zone. 4:05 a.m. The nature of the battle shifts from kinetic firepower to electronic dominance. From the deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln EA-18G Growlers surge into the combat zone. These Boeing-built electronic attack aircraft activate their ALQ-218 tactical receiver systems and ALQ-99 jamming pods, unleashing a wide-area electronic assault. Their primary objective is to sever the digital umbilical cord linking Iran's coastal command centers with their offshore swarms. Within seconds, Iranian relay nodes begin collapsing under the pressure of American electronic interference. Deprived of guidance signals, numerous Shahed drones lose synchronization and plunge into the sea, while the exact positions of the mosquito boat formations are suddenly unmasked on American radar displays. Recognizing the opportunity, USS Truxtun exploits the temporary signal gap to launch a counterstrike. Using Raytheon-built RIM-174 Standard Missile-6 interceptors in surface attack mode, the Truxtun engages Iranian swarm command vessels from beyond the horizon. The SM-6's active radar seeker allows it to locate targets even within a degraded electronic environment, effectively restoring American control over the battle space. Far from the engagement zone, F-35C, Lightning II fighters launched from the USS Abraham Lincoln enter the airspace. These stealth aircraft employ sensor fusion technology to merge data from every available source into a single high-resolution tactical picture, which is then distributed across the entire task force through the Multifunction Advanced Data Link. Iran, realizing that its asymmetric advantage is rapidly eroding, retaliates by activating every available SAM launcher and maritime radar installation along the Hormuz coastline. Long-range radar systems associated with the S-300 begin emitting high-energy pulses, attempting to penetrate the American jamming umbrella and maintain tracking on the stealthy F-35Cs. The Strait of Hormuz has now become a digital inferno, a battlefield where Iran's coastal missile batteries struggle to lock onto ghosts inside an environment increasingly dominated by American electronic warfare. 4:12 a.m., the tactical pendulum swings as Iran launches a deadly counteroffensive. Recognizing the F-35C Lightning II fighters as the central nodes of America's battlefield intelligence network, the IRGC activates